Hello and welcome everyone, a new episode of Money Means Business. Today we do have a lot of economic files that we are going to tackle with my very special guest here in our studios, and we are going to start immediately right after the short break with Egypt's international reserves climbing to $49.53 billion in September. And in the very same time, S&P Global Rating announced that it was upgrading Egypt from B- to B, meaning that its look is very much stable at the Egyptian economy. To shed more light on the issues and shed more light on the most important economic achievements we are witnessing even as we speak, stay tuned only on Nile TV International.
The Central Bank of Egypt, the CBE, announced that the country's net international reserves rose to $49.533 billion in September 2025, up from $49.250 billion in August, an increase of $283 million. According to the CBE's official statement, gold holdings within their reserves saw a significant rise, reaching $15.843 billion in September compared to $14.088 billion in August, an increase of $1.755 billion. Conversely, the volume of foreign currencies declined to $33.649 billion, down from $35.122 billion the previous month. The value of special drawing rights, SDRs, in the reserves remained relatively stable, edging up slightly from $43 million to $44 million. Egypt's foreign reserves comprise a diversified basket of major global currencies, including the US dollar, euro, British pound, Japanese yen, and Chinese yuan. The composition of the reserves is adjusted according to exchange rate movements and global financial stability under a strategy managed by the CBE. The primary function of these reserves, which include both gold and foreign currencies, is to ensure Egypt's ability to meet its international financial obligations, fund the import of essential goods, pay off foreign debt interest and installments, and buffer the economy during periods of external shock or volatility in hard currency revenues. Commenting on the latest figures, banking expert Mohammed Abdelal described the increase as a positive indicator of Egypt's strengthening external financial position. He said this level of reserves signals Egypt's enhanced ability to meet its international commitments and handle global financial fluctuations. He added that it also reflects the success of ongoing monetary and economic reforms in attracting foreign capital and improving hard currency inflows. Abdelal added that the current reserve level is sufficient to cover Egypt's import and external financing needs for more than 7 months, well above the global standard of 3 months, underscoring the country's financial resilience.
Welcome back. And to shed more light on these economic files, we are very much delighted to have with us in our studios my dear guest, Dr. Hanan Abdellatif, our international finance and investment expert. Thank you very much for being with us, ma'am.
Thank you, Nurleen. Always a pleasure.
And let's start immediately with the announcement of the CBE that we are witnessing a rise in our financial reserves, and also today S&P Global Rating said that they are upgrading Egypt's economy from B- to B. How do you see this?
I see it very good for the Egyptian economy, to be honest, because we had the governor of the central bank announced that we have raised the foreign currency in the Central Bank of Egypt in 1 month, actually, from last August to last September, about $283 million, which is very big sum of money for the foreign currency for just 1 month. This is a sign for very strong Egyptian economy, and we are getting better, even not every month, but actually every day. With the good news yesterday that everyone heard, and we were very happy to hear that we had this statement from Standard & Poor's that we changed the rate of Egypt from B- to B+, with overlook of stable economy in Egypt. So everything is indicating that we are doing very well in this file of the economy, and it means that we have increase of actually the import of Egypt, the goods and commodities that we import to foreign countries, and we get foreign currencies with the people working abroad, the Egyptian working abroad also. I hear that the import of Egypt now, or the value increased also to about $32 billion in the last year. So this is very good sign. Actually, everything is going to success in the file of the economy, thanks to everyone who did this.
Great, but Dr. Hanan, simply the layman in the street cannot differentiate between the global rating institutions and international economic institutions saying that the Egyptian economy is enjoying resilience, and with the structural reforms we are achieving a lot. But what about the currency? The currency or the basket of currencies. He is going to say, but still the performance of the pound in front of the dollar or the euro or the sterling pound, for example, is not that strong. How to make these differences, or how to explain to the layman in the street that this is not the issue with which you should measure?
Very good. This is a very good question, but the answer is I can tell you that everyone can see now for few months, the last few months, that the dollar value compared to the Egyptian pound value is getting less, okay? And this is affects actually the normal life of the normal people life, the prices, the import and export. We are also exporting many things, Nermeen, and as you see, we still need to export many goods. And of course, the difference in the currencies and the difference in the value of the dollar, which is getting less and less every month, and we can see it in the banks. I mean, this is for everyone in the street. They can see the dollars is getting less compared to the value of the Egyptian pound. This is very good, because we had a time last year, I remember, that the value of the dollar was increasing every day, and we can tell that the people were very confused about buying the stuff from abroad, the imported stuff from abroad. But now I think no, it's getting better, and that means that the reserves of Egypt of the foreign currency is getting higher, because when they get higher, the value of the foreign currency is getting less, because we have increased the reserve of Egypt. And by the way, not only the reserve of the foreign currencies in the basket of the foreign currencies increased, but the reserve of gold in the Central Bank of Egypt. So it's a very good balance between both, and this is also increased from August to September by the value of about $1.5 billion, and this is really good. So the reserve of everything, foreign currencies, whatever is dollars, euros, Japanese yen, Chinese yuan, and the gold reserve in the Central Bank of Egypt, both increased.
Well, let's move to another issue, which is the participation of Her Excellency Dr. Rania Al-Mashat, Minister of Planning and Economic Development, in the Global Gateway Forum 2025, which is currently taking place in Brussels. And on the sidelines of the forum, indeed, she met with a number of top executives from the EU to make sure that all the fruitful results of our bilateral cooperation is going to go on the right track. Before we go through this, how do you see the interest of the EU to have this partnership or this strategic economic relations with Egypt?
It shows that they look at us from different point of view, that we are getting and we are doing very well in the both economy and investment. You know, they can judge in a different way. Maybe as we are Egyptians, we judge like we are a stable country, we have a good strong economy, we have infrastructure, so. But from their point of view, it's something different, because all this international organization which they mention and evaluate, you know, the rank of Egypt in the debit and credit evaluation, no, it shows them how the economy is stable. I mean, they have different aspect of point of view, different from the Egyptians themselves. So now they see that we are very strong and we can receive global investment and global money, you know, capitals.
This is to say that you are saying that the environment of investment or the business environment in Egypt is attractive to the EU, as the EU, the European Union, and the EU countries. In your opinion, is it because of the incentives, the facilities, the labor force, the innovation, the youth, what?
More or less, the labors are cheaper, yes, of course, it makes a difference, huge difference. Facilities, and especially that the government now started to give more facilities to the investors, and Dr. Mustafa Madbouli is really encouraging, and he's involving himself, by the way. He is not, I mean, he is not taking away from this investing, although he has many things to do and he's always busy, God bless him, but I mean he's always increasing the invitations of the foreign investors, and he's there already, and when he visits a country he cannot miss the chance to see all these business people and organization. So now we are doing better. I mean, we were always doing well, but I can see in the last few months we are doing much better. And I have to mention, it's away from what we are talking about, but it affects Egypt. Everything happens in the world affects Egypt. When we had this good news of choosing Dr. Khaled Al-Anani to be the Director General of UNESCO as the first Arab and first Egyptian person in this position, do you think that this doesn't affect Egypt? No, it affects Egypt. In the investment, in the economy, I mean everything together. I mean, it's the environment of being a strong country in every way and everywhere. It affects, it's not just the economy itself, it's everything. Everything affects. Politics affects.
We cannot separate politics from economy by all means.
They are two sides of one coin.
Yeah.
And also the rule of Egypt, the leadership of Egypt, and the peace agreement of Gaza. We have to congratulate Egypt. We congratulate ourselves. We congratulate.
This is exactly what Witkoff, the American president envoy to the Middle East, said. He congratulated President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and our team. This is it, and as you kindly mentioned, it's two sides of the very same
exactly.
coin. But if you permit me, I'm going to turn back to this because I want to focus a little bit on the startups, the new entrepreneurs, the SMEs, because also the EU's 4 billion macro-financial assistance program supports reform in Egypt and this part of our economy in specific. How do you see its importance, and how do you see the share of the private sector right now? Is it sufficient, or we do have ambitions for more?
This is very important because, as you mentioned before, to be honest, I have to be honest with you, it's not enough. Till now.
Let's agree on that first.
Okay?
Then
we need more.
Okay.
It's very good, but it's not like enough. You asked me a question about how about the people, the normal people, and the people, they don't see this big achievement, and they want to see it in their life, reflecting in their daily life, to see the changes and difference. What you are talking about now, it reflects in their life, you know, the daily life of just the normal people and the families and the people in the villages, the people in the countryside. Not everyone really see from their point of view this achievement that we are talking about, the economy and the currency and the changes of the rate of Egypt globally from B minus to B plus. I mean, the people of the street, they don't really, they're not interested to hear this. They don't know the difference, you know. But when you are talking about the micro and the macro business and the projects, the small projects, this is what they need, and this is what they are interested in to hear from us. And we need to increase it by the increasing the private sector to be involved. Not enough yet.
In all domains or in specific areas. I mean, today, Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa al-Madbouli was in an inspection tour in Al-Qalyubiyya, and he met with a number of owners of the private sector factories. In food, food commodities, in food manufacturing, and in the same time energy, green energy, to turn Egypt into a green energy.
Green energy area.
I mean, what's more important? What's more vital?
They are all equal in as importance, but let's say why we don't encourage the handmade crafts, the local crafts, the local products of the local villages. There was a big project, maybe it was done 5 years ago, but I didn't hear about it now. I don't know, for a reason. That was encouraging the local products and the local very small industries, the micro industries in each village. And each governorate is famous by something, you know, up to the local materials they have, the local skills that the local people they have. Why we don't encourage them?
Permit me, I'm sorry for the interruption.
Yeah.
Here, Turakuna, or our heritage, it was there for the past week, and it was filled with all those handicrafts persons.
Perfect.
And they did great, and now they are exporting. And in Comesta, Farida Eid, the Egyptian stylist, or the Egyptian handicrafts, leather handicrafts, took the best or the biggest prize.
Perfect. We need to increase this all over Egypt. I mean, this is not enough yet. It's a big start, and it's very good start, but we need to increase it, because do you know how many people they can get benefits from this, and we can get benefits from them, from their skills. I mean, it's win-win situation, because this can be a very big source of the foreign currency. We cannot deny, and source for their income.
Amen to that.
So
empowering women.
it's something like Turas. It's something like Turas, but in a bigger scale. To cover all the cities of Egypt and all the governorates and some of the small villages. Some people are very skillful there. I mean, you cannot believe it. I have to tell you something, just a story. My friends abroad, they asked me for some of the Egyptian artifacts, and they asked me for special statues for, you know, the pharaonic statues and so on. And I went to Khan al-Khalili, to some of the small shops, very small, tiny shops, not the big bazaar, so very small shops. And I choose something nice for them. It has a story of, you know, the pharaonic history and so on. They took it like pressure, something precious and like jewelry, and they took it and put it in frames in their houses, and they put it, one of them, they say, I need a small museum for that, and they are very simple, made by our Egyptian handcraftsmen. Let's take some or give some attention to these people more.
Tell you what, with the official inauguration of the Grand Egyptian Museum, you are going to find all of this.
Hopefully.
And inshallah, we are going to witness it together in less.
I am encouraging this, by the way. I'm encouraging this.
Yeah. Because we do not have much time, I have only 2 minutes to speak about our participation in COMESA. How do you see the Egyptian keenness to continue with our economic cooperation with our African allies, considering always Africa as our strategic debt?
This is the most important, by the way. Africa and Egypt is one part. They are one part. And Africa is very important, and the President Sisi, to be honest, he is the first president I see myself. He is giving that importance and attention to Africa more than any other president. President Sisi is always keen to visit African countries, to invite African presidents to cooperate in all the aspects of cooperation, the economic cooperation, the military cooperation. He made many agreements. The COMESA will be always the core of the importance of Egypt, because we are in Africa. We are part of Africa. We are Arab country, but we are part of Africa. So Africa is priority number one for us. So COMESA for us, it's priority. It's very.
It was the meetings convened in Kenya, and they were discussing also the visas issue, and to guarantee the free moves of businessmen from an African country to the other. And by the way, now Egypt and Rwanda, for example, no visas. Simply.
Perfect.
And this is only a step in the right direction. How do you see the importance of making deals on such issues, Dr. Hanan?
I will tell you from my experience. I had a trip to Sudan, north of Sudan, not far, like 2-3 years ago, and they needed the Egyptian experiences and expertise in tourism. You know, they need to get some of the experiences from Egypt to Sudan, and they want to depend on the Egyptian people in many things. Okay, that was one visit, official visit with the Sudanese government. It wasn't like individual visit, and I found that that was one country in Africa. But I found that if we cooperate closely with this country, I mean we are cooperating, of course, but closely, we can get benefits from each other.
Win-win situation.
Win-win situation. You know, we have something we can give, and they have many things they can give us, and we can make Africa as a whole continent stronger that we stand next to each other as countries. These countries, they have natural resources and wealth you cannot believe. This is very, very important for Egypt, and they need our experience in many things, okay? They need the Egyptian mind. So I can say again, by the way, I wrote a book about the President Sisi and what he did with the African countries, and Egypt. In the time of President Sisi, Egypt became a central or a vocal point in Africa. It wasn't before. They need to feel that we are caring about them. We are connecting to them. We are connected Egypt to them. That wasn't before President Sisi. So he did a great job, and I wrote a book about it. You know, a whole book about it, because I consider what he did is something really that we needed all the time.
Inshallah, we are going to continue on this, because as I said, Africa is our strategic bet, and nothing can separate Egypt from its strategic depth and our African allies, particularly the 9 Basin countries. Well, Dr. Hanan,
Nermeen,
yeah.
I want to say something before we finish.
Okay.
We need to celebrate and congratulate our President Sisi for what he did to Egypt, concerning Gaza peace agreement, and he put Egypt on the top of the world and made Egypt the center of the world. I came with a pride. I'm very proud of my country. I'm very proud of him as the leader of the world.
Say it in Arabic. Long live Egypt means
تحيا مصر.
This was Dr. Hanan Abdullatif, my dear guest, and she is an expert in international investment and finance. And now I'm going to review the most important economic events which took place in the past 7 days. We'll meet again same time on Nile TV International. Many thanks for watching. This was Nurmin Abdurrahman. Thank you, dear.
According to the Central Bank of Egypt's Balance of Payments report, Egypt's trade deficit narrowed by 25.9% in fiscal year 2024-2025, falling to $15.4 billion from $20.8 billion a year earlier. Remittances from Egyptians working abroad surged 55.3% to $36.5 billion, up from $21.9 billion, while tourism revenues increased 16.3% to $16.7 billion, supported by a 16.3% rise in tourist nights to 179.3 million from 154.1 million. Egypt has signed letters of intent with international lenders to finance the Dandara Solar Energy Project, a landmark initiative that will supply clean electricity to the Aluminium Company of Egypt, Egypt Alum Complex in Qina, and cut its carbon emissions by up to 30%. The project, led by Norwegian Renewable Energy from Scatec ASA through its local subsidiary, will be developed and operated for a period of 25 years. It marks the region's first large-scale industrial decarbonization effort and is expected to significantly reduce Egypt Alum's reliance on fossil fuels, while boosting its competitiveness in European markets under the EU's Carbon Border Adjustment Mechanism, the CBAM. Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli took part on behalf of President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi in the opening session of the 24th Summit of the Common Market for Eastern and Southern Africa, COMESA, on Thursday in Nairobi. The summit was attended by a number of heads of state and government from COMESA member countries, alongside a host of high-level guests and officials. Minister of Petroleum and Mineral Resources Karim Badawi said Zohr field currently contributes more than 23% of Egypt's total gas production, adding that the Mediterranean region would witness stability in production and further development and exploration plans. Badawi revealed during an interview that the operator of Zohr will increase its investment in Egypt by $8 billion over the coming 5 years, including projects in the Zohr, Denis, Noor and Nargis fields. Minister of Finance Ahmed Kojak announced that the government will introduce a second package of tax incentives by the end of October, with plans to open it to public dialogue in November. The announcement was made during a joint open forum with Minister of Investment and Foreign Trade Hassan al-Khatib, held as part of the Engineering Export Council's conference on the future of industrial and engineering exports. The first package was launched in October last year. Tax revenues increased by 500 billion Egyptian pounds during the first 11 months of fiscal year 2024-2025, which ended on June 30th.